بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اتبع هداه أما بعد فهذا هو الدرس التاسع والعشرون في جزئه السادس, the sixth part. And we have been through the dialogue between al-mudarris and various students, and examples were given of how some verbs, the second and the last letter, ainul kalima wa lamul kalima, they are the same. And pen's refusing to work. So you have words like, for example, hajja, yahujju. And this word, originally, as it appears over here, it has two jeems in it, the second and the third letter. And that those two letters, when there's no need to separate them, then they are joined together, and this is expressed with a shadda. But when, for example, you have damir muttasil, like for example, damir al-rafa' lil mukhatab, then it's difficult to say hajja, and then add that damir, because that damir is mutaharrik. Mutaharrik means it has a haraka on it. It has a haraka which causes that letter. It doesn't have a sukoon basically. It has a haraka on it. And therefore, these two letters separate. They take the original form as you would have in dhahaba, dhahabta, where the middle letter takes its original haraka, which is the fatha, and then the last letter will take a sukoon in order to accommodate for the damir, the pronoun, the damir, to be added and joined to it. Jayid. And there were a number of examples that appeared throughout the text. And then we went to the exercises. And we said that we will go through the exercises and begin to answer some of the questions in order to understand or to apply the ruling. Okay. So here, in this particular example, in question number 4, or Tamreen al-Rabi', fourth exercise, we have Hamidun dhanna, huwa dhanna. When you say ana, because of this damir mutakallim, the damir of I, and the one who's speaking, you say ana, and now this noon with a shadda on it is going to pretty much open up, and it's going to turn into, from one noon with a shadda, is going to become these two noons. The first has a fatha and the second has a sukoon. Ana dhanantu. Ana dhanantu. Okay. Hamidun marra. Here you have to do the same. So what is it going to be? Can anyone tell me what it's going to be? It's going to be ana. You change Hamidun to Ana. And anyone take the mic and give a contribution of what that should sound like?
أنا مررت.
أحسنت وبارك الله فيك. عاطف جزاك الله خيرا. أنا مررت. Type it if I can. Since my pen has stopped working again. أنا مررت. First ra has a fatha on it. The second ra which is over there. Okay. أنا مرر ميم ra with a fatha and then ra with a sukoon. أنا مررت. The problem is with the cable, because when I use a different cable on this pen writer, it works. So inshallah, I might be able to just hold on another cable to make sure to get this working, inshallah. أنا مررت. Okay, so now let's go with the other examples. Hamidun hajja, Hamidun sabba, Hamidun sabba with the sad. And we'll ask the brothers. So we have Abu Maymun at the top of the list. Atif already answered one. We'll ask Abdullah, then Abu Hassan, and then Imran and Thaqib to go. And I'm not sure if Marsif, if this is a brother or a sister. It's a brother. Any brothers, you can take the microphone, inshallah. طيب. Go ahead, Akhi. Abu Maymun, are you okay to start?
Yeah, I'm not understanding the lesson though. I'm getting a little confused. I apologize.
That's fine. So just observe for a few and see how it goes.
Okay.
A few, inshallah, you'll be able to read it. Abdullah. So he's changing. Yeah, go ahead.
أنا حججت.
أحسنت بارك الله فيك. أنا حججت. طيب أبو حسن. حامد سبّ.
أنا سببت.
أيوة Abdullah, this is not your turn. It's going to be Abu Hassan now. Okay, we'll give one to each person, inshallah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Abu Hassan, did you hear the answer from Abdullah, or are you okay to do it afresh by yourself? Or do you want the next one? Is Abu Hassan with us? Okay, Imran, until Abu Hassan gets his mic. Imran, are you okay to go?
What do you want me to do?
Do number one. This one, please.
أنا سببت.
أنا سببت. أحسنت. And then we have ثاقب صب.
أنا سببت.
بارك الله فيك. And what's the difference of meaning, brothers, between sabba with a sin and sabba with a sad? Anyone? We may have touched on it briefly previously. Does anyone know the answer to that? Or the sisters, you can also type the answers in the chat. Okay, there are some answers. Okay, Abu Hassan hasn't got the mic, that's fine, no problem. I'll make everything easy for him. So the difference is sabba means to curse. Sabba means to pour, P-O-U-R. When you pour water, pour coffee, when you pour tea, it's called, that's sabba. In the Quran, Allah said, and that is it, what is it? Anna sababana al-ma'a sabba. We poured the water over it, basically, the vegetation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down rain from the skies. Abu Maymun.
Yes.
You okay to go with Hamidun Adda? Ana.
Inshallah. Inshallah, بإذن ta'ala.
Bismillah, let's try it.
Okay, أنا عددت.
أحسنت, barakallahu feek. Abdullah, Hamidun Jarra, he dragged. Jarra means to drag. Ana. Abdullah, you with us?
Yes.
Stay with us, Abdullah. Hamidun Jarra. Ana.
أنا جررت.
Keep going. Hamidun Radda. Abdullah.
أنا رددت.
Barakallahu feek. Hamidun Shamma.
Me.
Also you.
أنا شممت.
Aha. So this one here, if you notice the previous examples that we had taken, the example of Shamma and Massa is actually with a kasra in the middle. So this one you will say Shamimtu. Okay, Ana Shamimtu. And where is it? There is Shamma Yashammu. Asluhu Shamima Yashmamu. And the same for Massa. Masisa. Masu. So the last one here, Imran, do you know how to read this one?
أنا مسست.
Masistu. Ahsantu, barakallahu feek. Ana masistu. طيب. So all of that was fi'l madi. And now let's have a look at fi'l mudari', changing it into fi'l amr. Fi'l al-amr. And what is the rule with regards to fi'l amr when there is when the fi'l is muda'af? Muda'af means the last two letters are the similar, are the same. So how do we get fi'l mudari'? Well, here is a quick revision, recap of that. It shows that anta tajurru, you open it up and basically by changing that last letter to a sukoon, you will end up having these two sukoons. And you can't have that. So there, in order to avoid that, then we give the second one a fatha, and it becomes jurra, because two sukoons cannot come together. And you can't give it a kasra because the kasra the verbs don't accept kasras. Can't give it a dhamma because that is the alama of al mudari'. So you say jurra, drag, jurrahu, drag it forward. I think that in the text, in the conversation, the teacher asked for some help to move the whiteboard, the sabura. There it is. He says, تعال يا سعيد وجرها, drag it إلى الأمام, drag it forward. And he says, يجر السبورة, he drags the board. Then he said, أنت جررتها كثيرا, you dragged it too much. Okay, so that's the meaning of jarra. He says over here in the exercises, jarra yajurru jurra. Okay, so the asl is tamurru. Afwan, the fi'l mudari' is tamurru. And this is originally tamruru. Can anyone tell me the fi'l al-amr of marra yamurru? Has anyone got that covered? How will it be? Well, you will remove harf al-mudari and change the last haraka to a fatha. Simply it says murra, murra. And mashallah, we got some answers coming from the sisters. Alhamdulillah. Murra. What's the plural? If you give a command to a group of people, what should it be? Murru. Murru. From yamurruna or tamurruna. Naam ahsanti. That's correct. Okay. So now, murra from marra yamurru means to pass, pass by, to pass by. Okay. A number of times you'll find in some hadith where they say marra an-nabiy sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed by a group of people or passed by someone. Let's see if I can quickly find a hadith with that wording in it. Okay, so can someone take this one, please? Hajja yahujju tahujju. Obviously now, because fi'al amr is in the second person, meaning al-mukhatab, so then the example over here is always going to be mukhatab for fi'al mudari'. Okay, but what's important is that you remove the harf al-mudari' and then you change the last letter to a sukoon, and that will cause two sukoons to come together, and therefore you change it to a fatha, and then you say, then you just read it like you have here, jurra, murra, and the example of hajja yahujju. Can someone tell me?
Hujja.
Hujja, barakallahu feek. Sabba yasubbu. Who's got it? Naam akhi, go ahead.
My turn or no?
Naam akhi.
Did you call me? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I'm not calling anyone in particular. I'm saying anyone take it.
Oh, okay.
Go for it if you can. So you remove the harf al-mudari' and change the last haraka to a fatha. What do you have?
Subba.
Subba, barakallahu feek, which means to pour. Pour the coffee. Subba al-qahwa, pour the coffee. Jayid? Tayyib. How about this one here? Shamma yashummu.
Shamma.
Shamma, barakallahu feek, because you're taking the harf al-mudari' away and you're changing the haraka at the end to a fatha because two sukoons coming together. In order to avoid that, you give it a fatha. Shamma, smell. And then radda yaruddu. Who's got that one? Abdullah, you with us? Naam ahsanti. Rudda, as it came in the text, in the chat. Rudda, return it. How about this one? Dhanna yadhunnu.
Dhunna.
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 Dhunna. It means to imagine, to think. Yeah, or to, yeah, something like that. And this one, ta'uddu.
Udda.
Barakallahu feek, got a hang of it now. And tamassu.
Massa.
Massa.
Yeah, massa.
Massa. Exactly. طيب. I have a question here with regards to exercise 6. Why is there a fatha on al-maktab, al-kutub, al-qahwata, and al-zahrata? Who can tell me that, please? جر هذا المكتب.
Why is there a fatha on what? On the,
المكتب. أيوة إبراهيم.
بدل من هذا.
أيوة أحسنت. المكتب is بدل from هذا. This is actually مفعول به. هنا this is مفعول به. جر هذا. جر, this is the command. Asking someone to drag this. And this thing here, هذا, this is مفعول به. المكتب or المكتبة with the fatha on it, this is badal of هذا, which is also mansoob because it follows suit. How about number 2? صب القهوة للضيوف. Why does القهوة have a fatha on it?
مفعول به.
أحسنت. This is directly مفعول به, is not badal because it comes straight after the fi'l. الكتب. Ibrahim's got the hang of it. If others notice the pattern,
because I have it, right?
نعم.
Because I have the right?
So هذه, what's the i'rab of هذه? Yeah, هذه is مفعول به, as the sister said in the text, in the chat. عد هذه, count these. Count these what? هذه الكتب. الكتب, this is badal from هذه. So it's mansoob because هذه is mansoob. وفي محل نصب. How about this? Smell this flower. شم هذه الزهرة. الزهرة. Why is it مفعول به? I mean, why is it fatha? And that wasn't the answer.
Isn't it the same like the other ones?
It's the same, exactly the same. Why should it be different? So therefore, it
Ooh,
is
trick
badal. And I've given you 2 new trick questions, so you guys are worried now. Maybe you're gonna be taking down the wrong path.
Make me nervous.
Sorry, man. It wasn't intended. So هذه is مفعول به, and الزهرة is badal from هذه. جيد. In this exercise here, السابع, they've introduced lam and also la nahiya, the one that both of these particles, they render the fi'l, the verb that comes after it, majzoom. This lam is a negator, and la, this is of prohibition. Okay, so after them, the fi'l is going to be, number 1, they enter upon the fi'l mudari', and number 2, the fi'l mudari' is going to become majzoom. Majzoom means takes a sukoon. Now you can't give a fi'l mudha'af, you can't give a mudha'af verb sukoon, because what happens when you do that? This. You get 2 sukoons sitting next to each other. So how to avoid it? You keep the shadda and you put a fatha on the second of the 2 jeems. So here you have lam yahujja. Lam yahujja. He didn't perform hajj. Okay, and in this example, la nahiya, prohibition, la tajurra. La tajurra, do not drag. Okay, la tajurra thawba, for example, don't drag the thawb. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Because if it is, You should be able to answer these questions, inshallah.
I think it is now. You made me doubt myself.
No, you'll be fine. Bismillah. So here, the questioner says, Ahajajata. And the answer says, La. Lam is negating his Hajj, that he performed Hajj. He says, Lam, because the questioner said, Ta. That's for Anta. So now he's speaking about himself, Ana. Lam ahujja. Lam ahujja. No, I didn't perform Hajj. Okay. Again, number 2. A'adati. So it's you. The answer is going to be Ana again. A'adati hadhihi al-kutuba ya binti. Did you count these books, my daughter?
La.
Lam.
Would it be la or
Okay.
lamb?
You'll say la, first of all, because you're saying no. She's saying no, I didn't. But how's she going to negate it? By saying, after that, lam.
Lamb. I don't know. I don't understand. I'm sorry.
So it's adda ya'uddu. Here, she will say, lam a'uddaha. Lam a'uddaha. What's the ha for? Al-kutub.
Okay.
All right. Great. Okay, let me now see if I can get another cable. Hopefully this pen will get working and we'll be able to write the answers as we're working through them. Give me a second. Let's hopefully this cable will work, inshallah. Get the results we need. There you are, alhamdulillah as well. Let's see it straight away, light comes on. So here we had ahajajta. This is fi'l madi from hajja, and since lam enters upon a fi'l mudari', the question was, have you performed Hajj or did you do Hajj? And the answer, it negates by using fi'l mudari'. A'adatti, did you count the books? A'adatti hadhihi al-kutuba. So fi'l mudari' is going to be la, comma, lam, because she asked her, ti, anti, yeah, she asked her. So the answer is ana, meaning the alif of harf al-mudari', lam a'ud da هذه الكتب لم أعد هذه الكتب And هذه الكتب, you can just replace it with the ضمير and say ها لم أعدها. No, I didn't count them. Let's join those up with a different color. هذه الكتب joins with, basically is being referred to by this ضمير. لم أعدها. Is that clear? Okay. Number 3, سببت. Did you curse زميلك هذا يا علي? Did you curse your colleague Ali, this colleague of yours, or Ali? And he says
لا
لا لم أحسنتي. Sisters are getting it. لم أصب لم أصبه. No, I didn't curse him. No, I didn't curse him. لم أصبه. أمر, number 4. أمر المدير على الفصول. Can someone tell me what this number 4 means, please? أمر المدير على الفصول. Anyone?
Yes. Absolutely.
Al-Fusul means classrooms.
Yeah, I
Everybody's
know.
going to go for it.
So, Mudiri, I forgot what Mudiri, teacher?
Yeah, the mudir is the head,
Okay.
the headmaster or the principal.
Yeah, the principal. Okay, teacher. All right. So
Yes, so one of the sisters got it right. She says, did the head teacher pass by the classrooms? Another sister, interestingly, wrote, did the principal command you in class? That's a common mistake to make there because of marra. Okay, this is not from command, which is amara, ya'muru. Amara, this is not fi'l mudha'af. Fi'l mudha'af is mim ra, ra. And the two ra's are together, which means to pass by. Okay? Amarra is the question. Marra means to pass by. Al-mudiru, that's the fa'il, the person who passed by. Al-fusuli, did he pass by the classrooms? And the answer is, as the sister says, La. Anyone? Lam. Is it a or ya?
يمر.
Ahsant. Lam yamurra. No, he didn't pass by. Alay al-fusuli. Yeah, al-fusuli. But you say lam yamurra alayha. Just don't forget al-fusul is jama' غير عاقل, and therefore you can refer to it with the singular mu'annath feminine damir. Just like al-kutub is mu'annath غير عاقل, inanimate, and it can be referred to with a singular mu'annath feminine damir. جيد? طيب. Number 5. Someone read the sentence to me, please, and give me the answer as well. Adif, back from the Mustashfa. Thaqib, are you with us today? Go ahead, Ibrahim. Hey, anyone, if you've taken the mic, go for it. I'm just trying to call on the guys who are ready with the mic and good to go. Is there? تفضل يا إبراهيم.
لا لم أصب الماء.
Now, can you read the question?
أصببت الماء الذي كان في الكوب.
Did you
لا.
pour the water? Did you pour away the water that was in the cup? Answer.
لا لم أصب الماء الذي كان في الكوب.
جيد. لم you could just pretty much say لم أصبه. لم أصبه. جيد.
جزاك الله خير.
أحسنت بارك الله فيك. And over here, Ibrahim, from this alif to this lam, you have Hamzat al-Wasl in the middle. So you'll say al-ma alladhi, rather than stopping here and starting again. You won't say al-ma'a, you won't say al-ma'a and then alladhi, al-ma'a alladhi. No, just go directly to it. Al-ma alladhi. Abu Maymun, number 6.
أشممت رائحة كريهة عندما فتحت باب الحمام.
عندما فتحت باب
Sorry.
Mhm.
فتحت الباب الحمام.
نعم. باب, this is مفعول به from فتحت, and الحمامي is مضاف إلى الباب. مضاف إليه. As a bit of a crude question, did you smell that filthy smell when you opened the toilet door? And someone with a blocked nose says, go ahead, Akhi Imran. He says,
لا شممت. لا
no, he didn't say لا شممت. What did he say?
لا أشم.
Come on, guys, any contributions? You are Atif Suhair.
لا أشمها.
You don't need a kasra in the fi'al mudari'. Shamma yashammu.
لا أشمها.
Lam asham.
muha.
Now, what is on that meme? We're reading with
I
the
did
dhamma.
not.
But it's because it has lam before it. It's majzoom, so it's going to be fatha. I said, La lam ashammaha. I didn't smell it. Lam ashammaha. طيب. Number 9, exercise 9 is using la and nahiya with this fi'l. Okay, so you're going to say, let's do the first one as an example. Or can someone do the first one for me as an example? Or should I do it for you? Saqib's not here today, it seems. Or his sound is not working.
Ustad, I am here.
There you are. I called you a few times, but you didn't respond. Maybe you couldn't hear me. That's what I thought.
Yes, I was a bit late.
No problem. So here, we want you to use la and nahiya with this fi'l. How is it going to look?
La subba.
La tasubba.
La tasubba.
Yeah, because it's fi'l mudari' because of la and nahiya al-jins. La and nahiya. Yeah, la tasubba. لا تصب لي مزيدا من القهوة.
Ustaz.
نعم.
So in this exercise, we're just using la, not lamb, right?
Yeah, not using lam, using la, because this is number exercise 9.
Okay.
It says use la and nahiya.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to make sure I'm understanding that correctly.
Okay, good, alhamdulillah. So having understood that, you can see you only need to add the la of prohibition and directly with the fi'l, which is majzoom because of la and nahiya, and because this is mudha'af, it has a fatha at the end of it to avoid the two sukoons from coming together. La tasubba li mazidan min al-qahwa. Don't pour me any more coffee. Don't pour me any more coffee. طيب. Here, the teacher is threatening the student, or a colleague is warning his friend and says,
La, right?
yes.
Tadunnu.
Why noon? Why dhamma? Is it not majzoom?
Oh, tadunna.
Barakallahu feek. لا تظن أن الامتحان سيكون سهلا. What does that mean?
I remember the easy part.
Don't think that the examination will be easy.
The exam. Don't think the exam is going to be easy.
Okay.
There you are. And here, this is perfectly, number 3 is perfectly in line with the hadith. What should this say here?
لا تسب أخاك لمسلم.
أحسنتم. لا تسب أخاك المسلم. Don't curse your brother. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what did he say? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what did he say? He said, Sibabul Muslimi fusuqun. Cursing your Muslim brother is an open sin. وَقِتَالُهُ, and killing him or fighting him, وَقِتَالُهُ كُفْرٌ. وَقِتَالُهُ كُفْرٌ. Cursing your Muslim brother is an open transgressive sin, and killing him or fighting him is disbelief. This hadith is because we're going to close here because it's time for Isha in Jeddah. This hadith is a proof against the Khawarij. You can tell me how. How is this hadith a proof against the Khawarij?
Because the Prophet described killing as kufr, but we know that killing does not take you out of the religion of Islam.
Ayuha Ibrahim, mashallah. Where are you from? Which area?
I'm from London, Ustad. I met you when you were here in Hounslow.
Oh, I see. Mashallah. Hayyak Allah Ibrahim. Ahsant. So here you see that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam described qital as kufr. The Khawarij, they say that major sins take a person outside the fold of Islam. And they use these types of hadiths as an example. Because the Prophet ﷺ himself said kufr. But we know that it's not kufr. Because in the Quran, Allah Ta'ala says وَإِنْ أَحَدٌ, he said, وَإِنْ طَائِفَتَانِ if two groups من المؤمنين from the believers اقتتلوا, kill and fight each other, فأصلحوا بينهما, rectify between them, reconcile between them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, طائفتان من المؤمنين, two groups from the believers. And what are these two believing parties doing? They're killing and fighting each other. So Allah Ta'ala said, describe them as believers. How we know now that kufr is an action that shows the severity, but it is an action, doesn't take a person outside the fold of Islam, because kufr has levels. And that is what Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma said. Is that when someone said about the ayah in the Quran, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ, whoever does not judge by what Allah has revealed, then they are the disbelievers, they're kafirun. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, what did he say? He said, لَيْسَ الْكُفْرَ الَّذِي تَظُنُّونَ, it's not the kufr that you think, بَلْ كُفْرٌ دُونَ كُفْرٍ, but it's a level of kufr less than disbelief. And the scholars explained it as kufr amali, in action, rather than i'tiqadi, in belief. I'tiqadi. We'll stop there, bi'idhnillah, since it's time. And I will encourage you all to complete and continue all of these exercises in this book in lesson 29, and then upload them inshallah to the Google Classroom, bi'idhnillah. Follow the patterns. Number 10, Hamidun adda, al-awladu addu. I want you to make it plural. Al-banatu adadna. Actually, in actual fact, they're showing you. They're showing you. Learn how the pronouns are joined to the fi'l madi. So you just basically read this. You keep going, and this is fi'l mudari'. Previous one is fi'l madi. That's in number 11. In number 12 is the fi'l amr, command. Udda ya Hamid, count. Uddu ya awlad, oh children, count. Uddi ya Aminatu, Amina, count. The same verb in English. U'dudna ya banatu, oh my daughters, count. U'dudna. They want you to learn that. Okay. This is again learning, just reading and understanding how to use the word qattu, which refers to that which is in the past, and abadan, which refers to the future. They say over here, qattu bil madi, abadan bil mustaqbal, the future. Okay. Go ahead and read those examples, understand these words, and bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, next lesson we will start, inshallah. And oh yeah, over here, they give you a breakdown also in the same lesson of the different types of verbs. This is a very good reference point for you all. The basic verb, the three-letter verb that doesn't have any weak letters in it, is called salim. In Madi, kataba. In Mudari, yaktubu. That's when it's marfu'. Mansub, lan yaktuba. Majzoom, lam yaktub. Amr, uktub. Then you have mahmuz with a hamza. Hamza in the front, hamza in the middle, hamza at the end. And each of these has an example. Then you have the muda'af, the double letter. And that is when the mudari' has a dhamma in the middle, a fatha in the middle, or a kasra in the middle. And how it looks, either marfu', mansub, or majzoom. Then you have the al-mu'tal. either mu'talul fa, where the weak letter is at the front, or mu'talul ayn, where the weak letter is in the middle, known as al-ajwaf. And also it's important to know that ajwaf, sometimes the middle letter is going to be a waw originally, sometimes it's going to be a ya originally. And that affects how it looks in the subsequent stages of mudari', of marfu' and mansub and majzoom. Whereas here, it originally was a waw. In the amr, it said kul. And here, the middle letter was a ya originally. And here it came with a kasra, bi', sell. I think I'm tempted to go through this with you all, but I'm hoping that you guys will have enough tools now to be able to go through it by yourselves. And then also, al-mu'talul lam, the last letter being the weak one, as you have it either a ya, an alif, a ya, alif maqsur or alif mamdood. And then you have also two weak letters together, al-lafif. And either the two weak letters are together side by side, or they are separate. And each of them has its own way of dealing with marfu', mansoob, and majzoom and fi'l amr. We have to stop it there, bi'idhnillah, and next lesson, inshallah, we will go to Dars al-Thalathun. I really would like you to go back over Dars al-Tasi' al-Ashrun, since it's taken us a few months to finish it, for more than one reason, for travel and other issues that we had, and connectivity and so on and so forth. And bi'idhnillah, once you revise that, then we will continue next Wednesday, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, with this lesson. And it's going to be slightly earlier, possibly 7:15 UK time, or even 7 o'clock, depending on the time of Maghrib in Jeddah, inshallah. Just look out for the announcement. Until then, bi'idhnillah, wallahu a'lam, wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Barakallah.
عليكم السلام.
Salam.